everybody. Welcome today to the Legacypreneur Podcast. I am so excited to have our special guests, Michele D. Clark and Kishen E. Newton. All right, in the house. Yay. And today our focus will be on women inspiring women. And I'm so excited because this is Women Inspiring Women International Inaugural Celebration. And I'm very excited to say that I have been selected as a special guest, as a special speaker, as part of the international event. How exciting. So once again, as I mentioned, my name is Cynthia Gallardo, your leading legacy lawyer, and I'm here to talk about Legacypreneur. It's your legacy plus entrepreneur and or intrapreneur as well. And once again, welcome to Michele and Kishen. So we'll get right into this, get started and talk about you. Today is all about you and your legacy. So I'm very interested to hear about legacy because everything I personally do is based on legacy, as we know from the Legacypreneur Podcast. So would you share with me what your definition is of legacy? We can start with Michele and then we'll go on to Kishen. Okay, go ahead, Michele.
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, thank you so much, Cynthia, for having us on. We really appreciate it. Super excited to be here. Super excited to have you on the platform, going down the V this Saturday, March 11th. So we're super excited to have you in the virtual room this Saturday. So thank you so much for that. Legacy for me, it really means being able to have something of substance, something of value, and being able to pass it down to the next generations to come.
Yes.
So a lot of times when we talk about legacy, and I'm just going to keep it real, a lot of my family tree and people who may have come from similar backgrounds, unfortunately, we pass down debt, we pass down debt. And so I don't want that for my family. And so I really, when I think about the word legacy, I think about adding to.
Yes.
So that way it helps the next generations so that they're able to then be able to capitalize on the things that I've been able to do, capitalize on the things that my parents have been able to do, capitalize on the things their parents have been able to do. So having a lineage of giving.
Yes. Yes, that is so true. Thank you, Michele. I love that. And I love how you say adding to, right? And so many people think it's just about material assets, but it's not. It's about the lessons learned that you carry on, the lessons you learned from your past and now in the present and what you want to carry on into the future. That is so, so important. So thank you very much for sharing that, Michele. I appreciate that. Now I'm interested to hear as well from Kishen to find out what your thoughts are regarding legacy. How would you define legacy? And I think you're on mute there. There you go, Kishen.
I would, first of all, again, Cynthia, thank you so much. I feel honored to even be invited to share. And I'm so excited to hear what you have to share on Saturday. So it's going to be absolutely amazing. When I think about legacy, I think about my grandmothers. My grandmothers, one in particular, I remember I was 5 years old. And she took me with her to vote. And she told me, I said, Grandma, what are you doing? She said, well, I'm voting. I'm like, well, what does that mean? So she's explaining this to me. And she reminded me, she said, when you get old enough, you make sure that you vote. And so you talk about lessons. And that was my paternal grandmother. And I have a maternal grandmother. They always instilled in me family and values. And so I remember as a child, I wanted to leave something. I said I wanted to be an inventor. I wanted to be all these things. I wanted my name to go down in history. Yes. And so when you think about legacy, inheritance, something that carries, a name can be a good name or a bad name. Yes. But I want for my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren on until Jesus returns, I want them to remember me as being a person who makes an impact in the community, who wanted to empower people to think beyond where they are so that they can accomplish more, not just for themselves, but even for their family and the communities that they impact.
Yes. So, well, thank you so much for that definition. That is so true because we all want to leave that positive impact. And I can tell you right now that you and Michele are making history as part of the catalyst for this Women Inspiring Women International. So you can already check that off your list right there, Kishen. All right. So awesome. Awesome. So thank you once again for being a part of this. And we heard a lot about your past, right? Your values, the family, all those things that are incorporate legacy. And it is so true. Michele mentioned about lessons learned that are carried on. And all those are critical to make us who we are today. And I'm just curious to see do you plan to tie that into Women Inspiring Women, or have you thought about doing that as well? How are you doing that? I'm tying in the lessons that we have learned into Women Inspiring Women.
Yeah, absolutely. So when Kishen and I, when we were thinking about what speakers we wanted to have on the platform, and we were thinking about the format, and then we also thought about the theme. So we thought all of these things out. And yes, this is Women's History Month, and International Women's Day is coming on tomorrow. And so the thing is that, or excuse me, coming on the 8th. And so the thing is that we wanted to make sure that we had something that people will be able to learn from the ladies that we select. So we selected each lady based on their vertical, so what their industry was, based on their background, based on their experiences, their expertise, and also education. So we want to make sure that we had a diverse group and really international group. So that way, when the ladies who will be able to listen in, the people who will be in attendance as audience members will be able to get nuggets that will not only change them who they are, but change the trajectory of their life and the life of others whom they come in contact with. Because when we become the change, we then radiate outwards. It's like that little pebble that goes into the water, and then you see how it then radiates outwards. And so that's what our goal, our intention is, to not just have it for 2023, but beyond, making that impact to everyone who's involved, the speakers too, and all of those who are in attendance, to be able to make that change positively, adding value to their life, so then they can radiate outwards and add value to others.
I absolutely love that, Michele. And the ripple effect is real, isn't it? We are the catalyst. You are the catalyst to start that chain of reaction. And then once from there, it makes that positive impact as you go forward. And that's what legacy is all about. So I just want to reiterate, you are definitely creating a legacy here as part of this inaugural celebration of Women Inspiring Women. And before I forget, I want to make sure people know how they can join Women Inspiring Women on Saturday. Can you share a little bit more about the date, time, and how to register for it as well?
Yep, absolutely. So all you have to do is, first of all, it's going to be this Saturday. So March 11th, 2023, of course. And it's going to be from noon to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So again, that's noon to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, Central Time, 1 hour back. And all you have to do to register is go to bit.ly, that's bit.ly/Women Inspiring Women 2023. So again, that's bit.ly/Women Inspiring Women 2023. And the link is live now. So go ahead and register right now to make sure that you reserve your spot so you can be in the virtual room this Saturday.
Exactly. Great. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's right. There you go, Kishen B. And I will also make sure that this will be, you'll receive a transcript, anybody who joins, so they'll be able to see exactly what the contact information is for the event. So I just want to make sure that's out there. We hear it verbally, it'll be written down, and just, make sure we get the information out there for people to join. I don't want anybody to be left out from this fantastic, fabulous event. So I will definitely work to publicize it as much as possible. So we know that both you, Michele, and Kishen are both working on the present here, right? So getting this Women Inspiring Women International, it's a great vision to have. I'm so proud of both of you to be the catalyst to get it started. It's exciting because it's not just about today or tomorrow or Saturday. It's about going forward as well. So I'm curious to hear what are your thoughts, or what's your big picture vision for Women Inspiring Women International going forward?
This is not something, the way that everything happened, it happened quickly, but this is actually something that Michele and I have been planning for well over a year.
Great.
In some capacity. But to actually finally come together and execute it in such a short amount of time, we are already talking about an upcoming one in the next few months, because we are just starting. And as Michele mentioned, we're just a pebble that's creating a ripple effect. And the women that are going to be speaking are in the US and beyond. So we want to go even further and wider. So that's one of the goals. And there's some other things. We talked about some travel. And
great. Well, I love traveling.
It's still for.
Very good. Well, Kishen, I love traveling, so count me in. And I love this synergy. You know that's one of my favorite words, right? Synergy.
Yes.
The whole is greater than the individual parts. And if you think about it, Michele is fantastic, power of one, Kishen as well, myself, and any of the speakers that will be there Saturday. When you combine everybody together, the whole is greater than each of us individually. And that energy is amazing and fantastic. So that's why when Michele reached out to me and Kishen, and I knew this is definitely the place to be, right? So we'll keep that synergy going and make sure that this vision is kept alive as you continue forward. So please count me in to assist in any way I can, capacity, the podcast, Legacypreneur, because one of the things I found in speaking to, the speakers up to this point and meeting the speakers, it's amazing because all of legacy. So really anybody out there that's breathing, if you're breathing, you have a legacy, right? Even if you're not breathing, you've created a legacy. So everybody has a legacy or has created a legacy and will create a legacy. So if you add entrepreneur, that entrepreneurial spirit to it, or the intrapreneur, a lot of people don't know what an entrepreneur is. It's basically somebody that works in corporate America or for somebody else, and they have that entrepreneurial spirit. They're growing somebody else's business, right? Or as part of a corporation or an organization. So you have legacy plus entrepreneur, legacy plus intrapreneur. You create a legacypreneur. That's what Michele is. That's what you are, Kishen. That's what I am. And that is what all the speakers on Saturday are about. It's creating that momentum, that energy, that synergy to really help other individuals and that ripple, exactly that ripple, like Michele mentioned, to make that impact. So I'm curious to hear from you, both Michele and Kishen. I always ask individuals if you could share with us 3 things. I know you have a wealth of nuggets and knowledge just in speaking to you, but 3 things that you can help any entrepreneur or intrapreneur out there that has their own legacy, right? How they can really expand upon that and really help them to motivate them to keep going. What would be those top 3 gems you could share with us?
Yep. So, well, let's start back here for a second here. So,
okay.
So I'm the mindset management coach for professional women with Lift Nation, my company. And so the thing is that I would say the first thing is to dream. Start dreaming again.
Yes.
Open up the possibilities. Start dreaming again. Because a lot of times when and I don't know how much time we have, but a lot of times as we get older, we've heard no a lot. We get beaten down and beat up and knocked out. And so we stop believing that we can. So start dreaming again. The sky is the limit. The next thing to do is decide. Make a decision. Yeah. Make that decision that this is what you say you're going to do. Right? So have the dream. Make the decision, and then add discipline to it. Because when we get motivated, just like when you all come out on Saturday, on March 11th, you come out on Saturday from noon to 3, you're going to hear all these wonderful speakers. You're going to get motivated. You're going to be inspired.
Yes.
And so now you're going to dream. It's going to open up the dream vessels. Then you're going to make a decision. But once that motivation leaves, that's when discipline takes up. It's like you're in a match with wrestling. The motivation is going to tap out. Discipline needs to tap in. Tap in that discipline to make that dream come true. That thing that you said that you wanted to do long after the feeling has passed.
Yes.
That would be my 3 things that I would tell somebody to do.
Wow. That's fantastic. I've written those down. I love like the 3 Ds here, right? Michele Clark with Please dream. Yes, you can. Decide, take action, and then discipline, making sure you utilize that. And I really appreciate what you said that with the decide, because I also speak a lot or talk about the fork in the road, right? It's all about reaching a certain point in your life. And that's what the event will be on Saturday. You're at a fork in the road in your life where you have to make a decision, and that decision can change the trajectory of your life. So it's so important to be there this Saturday, 11th of March, at the inaugural celebration of Women Inspiring Women International. It's the place to be. Definitely do not miss that. You want to be there, definitely.
Absolutely.
So Kishen,
can I tell a
yeah, go ahead.
I just when you keep on the decide. So let me tell you all something. There's a quick riddle, you all. So there's 3 birds sitting on the wire, right? So the 3 birds sitting on the wire, 2 decide to fly off. How many birds are left on the wire? Most people will say 1. Yeah, most people say 1. No, all 3. Just because they decided to fly off didn't mean they actually flew.
Wow. Oh my goodness. That is powerful. Powerful, Michele. I'm going to utilize that. If I could borrow that, that's amazing.
That's my legacy to you.
Oh, you're taking it so much. Yeah, awesome. Oh, it opens your mind. It's like somebody peeled off that part of my brain and now it's open to that. So thank you for sharing that. That's very powerful. Thank you for that legacy there, that nugget. I appreciate it. Very good. So Kishen, I'm curious to hear from you as well as what are the top 3 gems that you can share with us as on the Legacypreneur Podcast?
I think for me, again, thank you so much for the invite. And I'm excited about what's happening on Saturday. So we talk about how Michele and I started collaborating. What I did and what I've done as far as I can remember is it started with a thought. You know, people have these thoughts, my car, your car, as even cars driving by and when you're a little kid. And I remember the thought of wanting to accomplish something. From writing the book, I've written 4 books now. But
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that. But you have to have a thought, tying back to Michele's dream. So you have the thought, then you need to write it down. If you don't take what you think and write it down, you don't know what steps to take to execute. So you write it down, you set goals, and then you start working towards it. Now, because I've already shared that we've talked about collaborating in some capacity, even last year when we were trying to plan something, it didn't quite work. So you don't stop.
Right.
Improve, and then you continue to move on. So
that's right.
Write it down and execute. And over and over and over and over until you get there.
I love that, Kishen. And I appreciate your authenticity and letting us know that, you did start it before and it just didn't work out at that particular moment. The timing was not right, but now it is. And we can see how it's taking off, growing, it's morphing into something amazing. And that is just, to me, I just feel so special and privileged to be a part of that. And I thank the both of you for allowing me that opportunity to do that. In addition, I just want to reiterate your 3 top points here, the gems that you share with us as part of your legacy, those lessons learned that you carry on, the thought. We all have thoughts, right? So take that thought, that idea, write it down. I agree with you, Kishen. If you don't write it down, it doesn't get done. So write it down, create that strategy, that action plan, and then execute. Don't just leave that piece of paper laying there. Execute it. Make sure you work it. So I really appreciate you bringing that up. And we always say, you look at things I always go back to this, to keep it simple, student theory, right? We're all lifelong learners, so we keep it simple. You both have kept it very simple for us. We have 3 steps Michele shared, 3 steps Kishen shared. We apply those. We can do anything. We can take those thoughts, those dreams, and make them happen. That's what Legacypreneur is all about. So I really appreciate Michele sharing that, Kishen sharing that, part of your legacy, your lessons learned that you'll carry on. So I can guarantee you, based on our conversation today, you are making history. You are making positive impact on the women around you, on people. So I do want to share that with you. And I thank you for all your lessons learned you've shared today. But before we close out, I do want to just give you the opportunity to share with us once again about the event. I want to make sure people do not miss it. Please share with us again the time, the date, and how they can register, and then any last words you have from each of you. Okay. So we'll let
yes. So again, it is this Saturday, March 11th, from noon Eastern time to 3 p.m. You can register. Now I messed this all up, so I'm going to take my time at bit.ly/Women Inspiring Women 2023. Register now, and I'm actually going to encourage you to invite someone to register with you, and have a what is it called, a watch party, because I guarantee you are going to hear from somebody that is going to share something that is going to resonate with your soul. So invite somebody. You don't want to miss it. Michele and I and Cynthia will be there, but there are more women that, again, spread far and wide across the country and beyond. Be there. Just be there.
That's right. That's right. I love the concept. Thank you, Kishen, about inviting somebody else, because if you have a great gift, you don't want to just keep it to yourself. You want to share it. And that's what we'll be doing here is if you invite that friend, make sure that they can take part in this great legacy, this great knowledge that's going on, the sharing of knowledge, information, collaboration is what's happening. Yeah. Great. Michele, any last words regarding the event on Saturday as well?
Yep, it was a really good segue where you said collaboration. Collaboration crushes competition.
Yes.
All day. And that's what Kishen and that's one of the legacies that we're going to leave, is that collaboration crushes competition. I started Lift Nation because of the fact that a lot of women said that they couldn't get along. Women said that they can't, blow up and blow up together. Yes, we can. And yes, we do.
Yes.
And Kishen and I are embodying that this Saturday. Where not only are we in alignment with each other, not only are we collaborating with each other, not only are we glowing up together, but we bring along 12 other women. Yes, I released the number, y'all. There's something about the number 12. Y'all better watch out. There are 12 ladies that are coming to the virtual space, that are going to drop nuggets after nuggets after nuggets. And I'm telling you, let me talk about if you don't come. Because Kishen, I know she was being kind to you all. She was saying, be there, and I know she probably want to say be square. But let me tell you something. If you are not there, just imagine that a speaker says that one thing, that one nugget, that one phrase, that one line, that one word, even a pause to give you the opportunity to think about what you just heard. And that one moment in time was that one thing you needed to turn your life up, to change the whole trajectory of your life and your kids and your kids' kids and your whole family and everybody that comes after you and everybody who's even around you, not even just your own biological family, but your chosen family, the people you choose to hang out with, but you decided not to go.
Woo.
You decided not to go.
That's right. Wow. That's powerful.
So now not only are you not going to be changed, but you rob the people who are around you the opportunity to allow you to be that change agent to help them. Somebody help somebody and show up. Show up this day.
Woo! I love that. Go ahead, Kishen.
It is free.
Free.
The only thing that it costs is your time and attention. You are guaranteed to get something from it.
That's right. Free. Hello, FREE, no charge. Definitely you need to be there. So thank you, Michele. Great wisdom there. And also thank you, Kishen, for all your input and the lessons learned that both of you have shared here. I'm so excited to be a part of this event, this celebration. And I look forward to seeing the both of you on Saturday, and also making sure that others are part of this exciting event. So once again, I sign off as Cynthia Gallardo, your leading legacy lawyer. And thank you for joining the Legacypreneur Podcast. Thank you so much. And thank you to Michele and Kishen for our special guests. Have a great night. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.